No, it's the first day of minicamp, and I know the low-hanging fruit is to talk about George Pickens. But guess what? When Patrick No C Walker said that Dak Prescott threw the ball to George Pickens over double coverage, that's what I'm going to talk about. That's what I'm going to lead with. Let's get to it, y'all. So I had this tweet exchange, and it was kind of cool. Quote tweeting Patrick No C Walker, basically talking about George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb feeling excited, being happy about George Pickens beating double coverage. And guys, that's what he was brought in to do. And every time he makes a play, I'm going to talk about it because I've been out front. This team needed another weapon. They got another weapon. It's going to make everybody's job on the offense easier. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Foots the King. As always, thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing. How we're going to do this mini camp recap, this first day of mini camp recap. Tommy Yarish, he's doing good work. He's coming into his own, and we'll talk about his exchange with Israel Mukuamu and kind of that back and forth. It was kind of funny, kind of silly at the same time. It's like, is he just, you're too thin-skinned. There's no need to go back and forth with the reporter. If you're doing good, it'll show when the time is and when it comes. You get what I'm saying? Nick Harris has some good notes, but then actually being able to talk to John Machota tonight on the Cowboys Collective. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the Cowboys Collective. Actually have my notes back here. You guys can see them. But we'll lead off with it, man. Dak looks sharp today. Dak looks sharp, and he's throwing the ball deep to George Pickens. That's big for a few reasons. And we'll talk about Jonathan Mingo and the day that he had. And John Machota said it. He said this much. He said, listen, Mingo, it looks like something when Dak is out there. And that's what you're kind of hoping for. But I got to tell you, with CeeDee and Pickens, my mindset is now starting to be 1A, 1B. And it's kind of always been that. But the wide receiver 3 position really doesn't matter. What do I mean? Tolbert 1 game, cool. Mingo 1 game, cool. Turpin 1 game, cool. If one of those guys gets hurt, if Trayshawn Holden gets called up, I mean, whoever. But if those two are going to be guys and Jake Ferguson is going to do his job, it opens up things for the other receivers, but it also opens up the run game, and it's really exciting to hear those things. So just the fact that, Pickens and Dak are already off to a great start. He's beating double coverage because let's be honest, how many receivers on this team, really ask yourself, how many receivers on this team last year were able to beat double coverage? Not many. We're starting with that. I may even end with it, but nugget number 1, the fact that we're already getting Pickens beating double coverage. I love it. Number 2, and John did tell me this, and you're starting to hear it. Joe Milton is real. Is he going to take Dak's job? No, he's not going to take Dak's job. But the fact that he's 10 for 10, and John said this much. He said, listen, Joe is more comfortable than Trey Lance ever was. And I'm going to tell you guys this, and I didn't say this on a collective, and I haven't said this to many people, but when you have that type of arm strength, and you even have an inkling of what the scheme could be, guess what? You can be late because you can make up with your arm strength, with your arm talent, with your arm power. You can get the ball in certain windows that other quarterbacks can't even try those throws. He was 10 for 10 today. I just think that that's really cool. I think that Joe Milton, he's going to beat out Will Grier. He looks the part. He has a better arm than Will Grier. He's going to be the Cowboys too. And like I said, and I've been consistent with this, the fact that he was able to have a few throws to Mingo, he's going to be able to find George Pickens when they get reps with the twos, or if Pickens, if they try to get him on the same page with Milton. If Dak does go down, which he has had injuries in the past, if he does go down and you have CeeDee Lamb and you have George Pickens, at least you have a chance. That's all I'm asking for, is a chance. Yes, Cooper Rush did some nice things. He got you through games, but did you have a chance? You didn't have a chance. Joe Milton is still stacking good days, and it's starting to look like this Joe Milton hype is real. Number 3, so we went over George Pickens. We went over Joe Milton. Dak's looking sharp. Dak getting on the same page with these receivers, with George Pickens, with CeeDee Lamb. I think that we take it for granted, like, oh yeah, everything's just going to be cool. But you got to remember, Dak was hurt last year. CeeDee missed training camp. They started off the season not on the same page. Like, it was visible to see that. The fact that they're stacking these good reps, you would rather have them stacking good reps than bad reps. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but just the fact that they are on the same page, that means a lot to me. And the fact that Dak is still sharp. And hey, Joe Milton behind him, and you seeing a guy throwing rockets, it's going to make you want to bring your A game to practice. Not saying that Dak hasn't, but it's going to make him want to continue to get better. So I think that that's a win within itself. Number 4, and the headliner for me, Jonathan Mingo. I think if we can get even an inkling of what Jonathan Mingo was supposed to be in Carolina and what he was at Ole Miss, you now start to have some real conversations, and you now start to feel really great about a guy who can win underneath, who, when you have your two A1, AB, your two jokers, your two guys that can just do everything, and now you have a Mingo who, the one thing that I think people really forget about who Jonathan Mingo was, he's a yak guy. He's a big athlete that's hard to get to the ground. I think that's what you're hoping he can be. So hearing that he has some nice catches, it's not just the catches part of it, because Jalen Tolbert can catch the ball. Turpin has that yak ability too. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Turpin has, but what Turpin and what Jalen Tolbert don't have is they don't have the size and the speed factor that Mingo had in college. And let's be honest, he just didn't have it in Carolina, albeit bad quarterback play in Carolina, bad offensive system in Carolina. And Bryce, he started to get himself together, but was he ever a Dak Prescott? No, he was not. So the fact that throws are funneling his way, Milton's finding them, Dak's finding them, and they're getting that rapport, I like it. I like it a lot because let's say, knock on wood, this is some real wood right here. This is a desk. Knock on wood, something did happen to CD or something that happened to Pickens, and you felt like you could still get through games with Mingo stealing you yardage after the catch, running crossers, doing things like that. That would be a win for me. So the fact that his name is in the paper, that his name is on these notes, I'll take it every day of the week. And then number 5, outside corner, Israel McQuamu and his back and forth with Tommy York. I think it was kind of funny that he went out his way in this tweet to say, make sure you talk about my good plays. Make sure you talk about the things that I'm doing well. Listen, Izzy, look at me. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm the captain now. Y'all remember that movie? Hey, Izzy, guess what? Everybody's rooting for you. But if George Pickens makes a play, most reporters are gonna talk about this. You're at corner. You can't try to filter what reporters are gonna say. That's just not how it works. And at the end of the day, you go out there at camp and you lock these guys down at training camp, everybody will be talking about Israel McQuamu. What I took from it is this. They're trying different lineups at corner. Is he on the outside? Is Bland on the inside? Can Izzy really hold his own? I think that is something to me that I'm really excited to see. And it's like, it's Izzy. At the end of the day, I get it. It looks like, man, Izzy gave up a play. You never talked about my good plays. I don't think Tommy meant it that way. I literally just think that he just tweeted out your name. And Tommy's young in the game, so he'll learn. But we also is like, if I respond to everybody who has something negative to say about me, I would go crazy. You can't worry about that stuff. So it's just kind of silly. But I take the good from it that, hey, you're getting starting reps and you're playing on the edge. They trust you. And so that's what I took from it. I took from it, first of all, getting beat by George Pickens isn't that big of a deal. But then number 2, and most importantly, you're getting reps on the edge. They trust you and you're getting an opportunity. So I thought that was cool. 5 kind of takeaways from minicamp. You guys let me know what you're hearing. You guys let me know maybe what you want me to ask John, what you want me to do some content on. But listen, this minicamp, I feel really good about this team. And I feel what it is for me is the competition part of it. The drop off and the lack thereof. There won't be much drop off because if Milton's going to play well, then the backup receivers will get reps and they'll get quality reps. They'll get quality work. So it's your boy Footsie King as always. Thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Make sure you guys send this video around. I'm dropping it fresh off the press. I'm dropping it right now. Make sure you guys send this thing around. We're on the road to 50K. I love you all.